So the video for today is specifically how do we still our waters when we are always changing. So this is a video that is focusing on understanding the highly transformative nature of the sensitive free spirit and how that often leaves us can leave us scattered, overwhelmed, uh, ungrounded, not grounded, not centered, not balanced, not focused, etc. And there's an art to this. This is not new. We humans have been on this planet for many, many, many centuries, and many cultures have developed systems to support those that are highly transformative. So there's many options out there for you. Okay, so I say this to say you do not have to follow someone else's path just because. You can take an assessment and evaluation of what's out there. There is Eastern philosophies that can support you. There's African philosophies that can support you. There is Western philosophies. There is Native philosophies. There are pagan philosophies. There are tons, literally hundreds, even thousands of philosophies that can support you. But they all have at their core the same thing. Follow the middle path. Follow the initiated path. The initiated path is the path of least resistance. It is the path of simplicity. However, it is also the path of restriction because it literally keeps you from going too far to the right, too far to the left. So it's a path of discipline. And that can be challenging for someone who is highly sensitive, which means highly connected, and also free of spirit, someone who needs spiritual autonomy, spiritual sovereignty. It can be very difficult. So I want to be clear, this is who I'm speaking about. Okay, so if you don't fall in the category, this may not be useful for you. So today I'm going to talk about how do we still our waters when we're always changing. And unless you are experiencing this, you don't know what this feels like. You may not know what it feels like to always literally be changing and changing form and transforming. And once we get to a space where we can appreciate that changing aspect of ourselves, it is a beautiful experience because we can become a witness of ourselves moving through multiple realms and dimensions and experiencing different things, different times and people and places. And we go to the depths of things in such a way that makes us feel fully alive and present. But that takes practice and that takes time, that takes experience. So if you're not there, be gentle with yourself. It is a journey. It is part of the journey of self-awareness. It is part of the journey of getting to know who you really are and what you really are, your purpose, unique purpose, very unique purpose on the planet. Okay, so the first thing is, there's three things I'm going to share because there could be so many more, is to learn or practice going with the flow. Now, I know when I was younger, going with the flow was like, what? I need to control this. There's so many things going on at once in my mind, my heart, my physical body. There was this deep need to control, to try to. And by the way, if somebody had told me I was trying to control, I wouldn't have believed them because it wasn't something I was consciously aware of. So just be mindful. You may not be aware that you're trying to control what is uncontrollable within you because there's so many aspects of yourself that are always changing. There are three things that can help with that. It's life, and that is becoming a partner with life. Life itself is movement. You're dead when you stop moving, right? And when I say dead, I'm not referring about transitioning. I'm saying things are dead when they stop moving. Movement is life. There are three things that can help you go with the flow: life, stability, and power. I do not have a lot of time to go into these go into these in depth. But what I will say is, when it comes to life, because life is always movement, learning to move with whatever it is you're doing, your day, your learning, your knowledge, your work, your family, your this, your that, learning to move with life is something that can support you in your ability to go with the flow. Silence, pausing, reflection, solitude, and a simple life, simplicity. Those three things can go a long way to supporting your connection with divinity in life, in movement. The second thing is stability. Now, what I mean by stability is, we live in a society, in societies, and I'm not just talking about the West. There's many societies. We live in societies that often pulls us away from stability. They pull us toward more of this, more of that, dissatisfaction with this, dissatisfaction with that, attachment to this, attachment to that. Those things can leave us unstable. The sensitive free spirit. Okay? For us, simple is better. Okay? Simple is better. I'll leave it at that because, again, that's a whole other conversation, right? The last thing is power. Now, power for the sensitive free spirit is actually one of our gifts. We are filled to the brim. We are filled with power. We are filled with activated spirits. That's why we're always changing and transforming, and things feels like they're always moving. So for us, it's not getting power. It's recognizing, accepting, and embracing our own inner power. Right? For us, it's actually just recognizing that we are powerful, that we are deeply connected to divinity, that we have a resource and access that many people do not have. Okay? So those three things can help us practice going with the flow. Life, connecting to life, stability, which is for most of us living a simpler life, practicing solitude, deep connection, and silence, and then power, tapping into our inner power. There is a movement now called, I can't think of the word, but there's movements that come in and out, and they're all about the same thing: learning to have a more simple way of being. To flow, simplicity helps. Okay, when you have a lot of baggage, a lot of things you're carrying, it's very difficult to flow. So part of that transformation that's happening can also be used for healing, for removing baggages, for learning emotional control, for learning spiritual control, for learning controlling our words, our speech, and so on and so forth. The second thing is love and nurture your body, your creativity, and your joy. The second thing that can help us still our waters when we're always changing is to love and nurture our bodies, our creativity, and our joy. Now, you would think this is easy, right? Love and nurture my body. Okay. Yeah. But again, we live in societies that pulled us toward their interpretation of loving body, their interpretation of nurturing the body. You have to determine what that is for you. And it's different for everyone. Okay? And depending on your life stage, it will look different. What you do at your 20s and your 30s may look very different than what you decide to do in your 50s, 70s, 80s. Recognize loving and nurturing, and by the way, love, when I use the word love, I'm specifically talking about connection, the bonds, electromagnetic connection, that which keeps things together. That's what I speak about when I speak of love, not the romance nor the frivolous, what I would call the top layer of love, what people see. I'm talking about the deep connection, that which keeps things together. So keeping yourself together, loving, connecting, being aware, being centered within yourself, nurturing your body. your creations, your creativity. The highly sensitive, the empaths, and those that are free spirits tend to be highly creative. Again, you're always transforming. Though in the olden days, people used to refer to those that are highly transformative um, as witches, as priestesses. I mean, there's so many different words that we use because of your ability to change form. You are truly a free agent, one of the freest agents on the planet. You do not have the same constrictions that many people have. Anyways, your creativity, nurturing and loving and connecting with that is part of your healing process. And whatever gifts you came in with, whether it being with your hands, with your eyes, with your voice, with your body movement, those are part of your healing formula. They're part of your medicine cabinet. They're part of your toolkit for continuous restoration, and also supporting you in your transformation, right? So, and lastly, your joy. Now, for those who know that little bliss that highly sensitive or sensitive free spirits will get, a little bliss feeling, that feeling that goes, that little giddy thing that we sometimes get that comes out of nowhere. Those usually are a sign that you're doing the things that are here to enliven and keep your spirits free, and to keep them in moving in divine order and natural order for you. Because natural order for you may look a little differently than natural order for me, and so on and so forth. But natural order for you. And also keeping you on a clear path, clear idea, clear intention, focus energy, focus attention, focus effort. All of that comes from your joy. Okay? And by loving and nurturing that and cultivating that, by experiencing the things that bring you joy, you get to understand a little bit more about yourself, and you get to understand a little bit more about those things that help you restore resource on this plane. Okay? And then the last thing is to cultivate your faith. I do not use the word faith here the way of traditions that are more religious or more structured. Okay, I use the word faith here to mean divine knowing, not blind faith. This is important for the sensitive free spirit because we are intellectuals. We are scribes, we are writers, we are highly intelligent. We want to know. We are supposed to experience that knowing, that searching. Some people are here for blind faith. We're not here to judge them. That's their path. Our path is a path of divine knowing, of embracing the knowledge that is what we'd call cosmic knowledge, cosmic creation, the huge Akashic records that is both on the planet and off the planet. We're here to experience and understand all of that. So for us, faith is actually a process of going through our own divine knowing. And this can look very different for different people, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But cultivating our faith is critical. It's very important. Cultivating our faith. So how do we still the waters when we're always changing? We learn and practice going with the flow. We love and nurture our bodies, our creations, and our joy, and we cultivate our faith. Those are the three things that I have witnessed that are highly supportive when the body, mind, heart, and multiple other realms are always moving. Always moving. And in a single day, we may experience so much transformation that we may, by the end of the day, feel exhaustion. Like, what happened? What the heck happened? So those things can support us greatly in achieving balance. Now, for some of you who are familiar with the word grounding that's being used today, in days past when I was younger, we used to use the word rooting ourselves on the earth. Often movement, dance, expressions of using our hands and connecting, the nurturing our bodies and our creation, our joys. Those things, number two, those things tend to root us and stabilize us so that we're not emotionally as volatile as the transformations that are happening within our body temple and outside our body temple. So I trust this was supportive to some of you. Please jot down questions if it's confusing, if you want explanations. I'm more than happy to support you in understanding a little bit more about what I just shared. I also invite you all, if this is still in the springtime, I host Insightful Journeys, which is 3 classes, 21-day classes that support those like us who want to get connected to our essential self, who want to stay connected to our essential selves, who want to cultivate a relationship with our essential self, our true self, who we really are. Okay, so make sure you check that out and let me know. I would love to see you guys participate. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.